Hi everyone. So I have updated this handout that I presented at the last Zoom in the May session of Mastering Photo Engravable Blocks. And I wanted to share it with you and what I've learned because I think I have cleared up the confusion that we were having. This question initially was proposed in the fall session. With everybody working on different machines, with different machines calculating the resolution of the laser cutter differently using LPI, some are using DPI, some are using, as Universal is, image density. It can get really confusing trying to figure out where are the overlaps, where are they similar and different. So I'm going to explain this diagram here first with Universal, and then I'm going to share how it relates to Trotec and how I believe it relates to Epilogue. So we have three primary settings. We have power, speed, and pulses per inch. Pulses per inch is not the same as pixels per inch, and it refers to the number of pulses that the laser spits out when it is cutting and scoring. When it comes to raster or area engraving, image density takes over. So I know that there's some people who lowered that pulses per inch and felt that they ended up with an image that was less dense. I'm not going to doubt that you didn't experience that, but technically pulses per inch shouldn't have been working for you. Really, it's image density that is changing the density of engraved images. So image density affects the resolution of the laser cutter. And to be wonderfully confusing, Universal talks about it in terms of lines per inch by dots per inch. So lines per inch are the number of lines on the y-axis. That's how many times the laser is going back and forth as it's engraving. Dots per inch refers to how many dots the laser is putting down in an inch if it was creating a solid black line. So the confusing thing with Universal is that the y-axis number and the x-axis number are not always the same. So we can see here that a 2000 lines per inch top image density y-axis only has 1000 dots per inch on the x-axis. And when we get all the way down here to the lowest resolution, we have 83 lines per inch, but we still have 500 dots per inch. And this is what had me going round and round in circles with Trotec, because Trotec is different. If there are 83 lines per inch on the y-axis, there are 83 dots per inch on the x-axis. And in fact, Trotec talks about it as DPI, and they use it interchangeably with LPI. So I actually went around in circles quite a bit with this guy before I could nail down and confirm that they are using DPI and LPI interchangeably. They're still talking about it as dots per inch, even when they're referring to it, even when they're talking about the y-axis and lines per inch. Very confusing. Okay. So that's image density. Then we have the halftone. And so this is the halftone that the laser cutter puts on the, converts your image to. And in halftone, we also have LPI. It is different from y-axis LPI. In this case, it is in relating to the frequency of the halftone. And so in this instance, LPI is referring to manual camera darkroom LPI. And I'll let you Google that too, so you can understand the difference. And so what had me confused for years is that I thought this was the lines per inch of the machine. It's not. It's the frequency of the halftone. It is related to the lines per inch of the machine, in both Trotec and Universal. I assume it's true for Epilogue as well. When the dots per inch of the laser cutter resolution go down, so does the halftone frequency. So something that I don't know, and I would love it if one of you could contact Trotec. I need to take a little break from Trotec. I think I drove the guy absolutely crazy. It was like, an American English and UK English, one talking about trucks and one talking about lorries, and not being able to realize that they were talking about the same thing. So I don't dare ask him. But if one of you could go on to the Trotec website, and you don't have to have a Trotec, just lie. Say you work on one in your whatever at your school, and ask what the halftone frequency relationship is between the DPI of the machine. I would love to know that information. I will create another handout that and a chart comparing and contrasting that. If you have an epilogue and are up for contacting Epilogue to find out if their image density is their x-axis the same as the y-axis as it is for a Trotec, or is it different like it is for Universal. Also figuring out the frequency of the halftone, that would be awesome. If I'm remembering correctly, we're gonna love this, right? I believe epilogues talk about PPI as frequency, which is not the same as the halftone frequency. Oh my goodness. No, we just love this. Anyways, so I hope this helps you gain a better understanding of laser cutter resolution, and also how to think about resolution between machines depending on how they identify it. So thank you all, and I look forward to seeing the photographs that you continue to make, or photographic prints that you continue to make now that the course is over. All right, have a good summer. Bye.